Yeah. Oh, Miss Lulu.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Lulu.
Hi, Lulu.
Where's Lulu? I can't
Hi,
find Lulu.
Lulu.
I'm right up here. Good to see everybody. As usual.
Good to see you.
I don't see you.
Oh, there you are. You're stuck in the middle there.
Here I am.
Find you.
Now I got you.
Hi, Lulu.
Hi. It's
There you
it's
are.
good to see you all. Is there anybody here for the first time that would like to say hello?
This is my second, so hi.
Hi, Dorothy. We're glad
Hi.
glad you're
Good to
here.
see you.
Glad you're here. Anybody else maybe here for the first time that would like to say hello? Hi, Barb.
Hey, Lulu.
How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? No, how you doing?
All right. Hello and welcome to Lulu's Way, Healthy Food, Healthy Life. My name is Barb, and I am grateful for the opportunity to be your host this evening. In order to keep this meeting free from distraction, we ask that all in attendance please mute yourselves unless you are speaking. We also ask that you keep the video mode turned off if you're doing anything other than sitting and participating in the meeting so that we can minimize distraction. In this community, we gather to support, encourage, and inspire on the benefits of nutrition, weight loss, and wellness, and the joy that comes from choosing to serve yourself well. We are not medically trained, nor do we have formal training in nutrition. We come together here for the sole purpose of providing support, sharing experiences, and promoting a healthy lifestyle. It may be wise to check with your healthcare professional with any dietary suggestions or advice you receive from this group, especially if you have health challenges. Individuals in this group may have different ideas on how to eat healthy. Just figure out what works best for you and do it your way. All right.
Beautiful. Thanks, Barb. So welcome everybody.
What was us?
Is there anybody else that that maybe have just come in the past couple minutes that has never been here before that would like to unmute and just introduce yourself? Bonnie?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Bonnie. I live in the Northern California area, and I'm really glad to be here, but typically I teach a dance class at this time every week, so I will mostly be watching the replays.
Oh, well, I'm glad you could make it this week. I'm glad you're here. So today, we're starting a new, like a little mini series, okay? And what we're going to do is, I've invited some people that have been around here for a while, that are doing it, that are very inspiring, and their shares every week are inspiring. I've invited some of them to be like guest speakers, so they will tell us their story. So today is the first day of this series, and it starts with wonderful Nicole from Minnesota. She's been following this food plan since the first of the year when we all, well, maybe before that. I think there were some people that were following it before this even came to be, this meeting even came to be, because they just heard me talk about it, and I put the food plan in the description of my videos, and so she had been following it before. So,
oh my goodness. Well, I will tell you, like, I can hear my heart beating in my ears. I'm so nervous.
oh,
I'm like, well, I'm just talking to my friends, but I'm telling you, I might start sweating. I don't know, but I did kind of jot down my notes. So if I get stage fright, which I don't know why, I can at least refer to them. But honestly, I'm so thrilled to be just asked to tell my journey, although you kind of heard it in pieces as we go along week to week. But I'll just start kind of from the beginning and just tell you kind of the highlights of it. So when I was a little kid, I was a normal weight. I wasn't a chubby kid or a chubby baby. I was a normal weight kid until, for me, it started in the 7th grade when I was 13, which I think is true for a lot of girls especially, but where I started thinking I'm too fat. I went to junior high, and there were lots of like girls who were thinner. My body shape wasn't wafy at all. And so I started thinking, I'm probably too fat and feeling very self-conscious about it. And at that time I was probably, I don't even know, I'm guessing, but I might have been 10 or 15 pounds overweight. But definitely not something where I felt like I had to wear different clothes or, anything unusual. And so I got this great idea to go on my first diet that I invented myself, and I didn't tell anyone. And it was, I just didn't eat for 3 days. and I lost 10 pounds. And I remember thinking, I've solved this problem. I'm going to be able to be thin and fit in and feel better about myself. But of course, I was hungry and I needed to eat. And so that was my first time I ever remember trying to lose weight and doing it. Granted, it was a terrible way to do it. And then because my mom was always thin and fit and dieting, I decided I'd just do what mom does. So my first real diet was the cabbage soup diet with my mom, and which stunk up the house. And it was, as a 13-year-old, it wasn't really what I wanted to be eating, but I did it because I just wanted to, stay under control and be thin and fit in. I moved to my grandma's house the summer between 8th and 9th grade, which was kind of a traumatic event for me. But my grandma, my Mexican grandma, was a wonderful cook. She had a weight problem, but food was just so delicious and wonderful and plentiful. And it was food with no restrictions, and it was delicious, and it was like love and comfort. And so I enjoyed that, so much. There wasn't like rules, like you can only have one pudding pop or you can only have one scoop of ice cream. It was like, just have as much as you want, So I kind of started to gain some weight in my high school years. And then I think I mentioned before, I'd go to Weight Watchers with her, not to learn about Weight Watchers, but because she would go out for treats afterwards, like ice cream or what have you. So I loved Weight Watcher night. Like, Grandma, can I go to Weight Watchers with you? And I think in my high school years, I weighed around 140 to 150 pounds. So overweight, but not obese. And then I played volleyball, so I kind of stayed fit, but I moved out on my own the winter of my senior year of high school. And I graduated in June, and I turned 18 in July, and I got married in August. And I weighed 165 when I got married in 1986. So so that was a lot of emotional stuff going on through that period of time. Of course, I wasn't paying attention to that. I was just living life and doing what I thought I should do. And so after we got married in August, I started to gain weight rapidly. And by Christmas, from August to December, I had gained weight, so much weight, that I didn't want to go to Christmas. I didn't want to go to the gatherings because I thought everyone's going to see that I've gained weight. My clothes weren't fitting me, and I just felt kind of out of control and embarrassed. And that first year I was married, I gained over 100 pounds. And I never thought, what in the heck is going on? I just thought, I'm just eating too much food, and I'm cooking like my grandma cooked, but it's just the two of us. I didn't really think about what was going on with me as me to kind of go off the rails that much. And then after that first year, I gained a little more until I hit 275. And I stayed there for the longest time throughout my 20s and 30s at that weight, 275. And I tried, the list goes on and on. And like, we've all shared the different things we've done. And I know, Lulu, in your video, you said what you've done, but I tried things, but I'd give them up before I could lose anything. I did Weight Watchers. I did Richard Simmons' Deal a Meal. I sweat to the oldies. I did Slim Fast, diet centers. My doctor offered me Fen-Phen, and I was so scared. I'm scared of drugs. And I said no, and thank God I did, because she said nobody I've offered it to is saying no to it. And you really need to think about your weight and what it's doing to your health. And I was too scared to take Fen-Phen, and I'm grateful that I was scared. I went to an Overeaters Anonymous meeting, and then I thought didn't feel comfortable there. I did Building Your Body for Life. I saw a nutritionist, and the list just goes on and on, like it kind of has for a lot of us. But I was so filled with embarrassment and just mortified and shame at my weight. But in my early 40s, I crept all the way up to 312 pounds, which, I think I've told you in the past, I'm 5'2.5". So this really kind of startling. And at that time, I was I had a great office job, one of the best, highest paying jobs up to that point that I had managing a support team. And it was a very demanding position, and I had a very demanding boss. And so I used food a lot for comfort and just to keep myself going. And then I started to have my period for an entire year straight. It didn't stop. It didn't go away. And I kept waiting for it to stop so that I could go to the doctor to find out what's wrong with me. And then I realized it's not going away. I better go to the doctor before, something worse happens. And she said it was my hormones, that they were getting wonky because I was so overweight. And the work stress wasn't helping. And so she said that I needed to go on metformin, which is a drug that you probably know is for diabetes. But I didn't have diabetes. She said it's also used to regulate period cycles that go awry from hormones. But she said being at that much overweight was just causing my hormones to go off. And I was so upset that I had to take a drug. And she didn't say that I would end that drug. She didn't say, you should lose some weight. She just said, as long as you're at this weight, you need to be on this drug. And, so I went with that, but I wanted to get off of it. And I immediately, I think the very next day, I went down to a 1,200 calorie a day diet because I wanted to get off of that drug. And I did that for 3 months, and I lost 30 pounds. And I was really crabby. And I really was, short-tempered because I was really hungry. But I got that 30 pounds off, and I quit taking the metformin without going back to my doctor. And I thought I'll just see if it stops and my hormones go back to normal. And thank God they did. So I was glad that I didn't, that I was able to sort of solve that problem myself. But then again, my weight started to creep up a little bits by bits until I was 296 pounds. And as 300 started looming close again, the fear and the panic and the now what am I going to do? So I searched and searched, and I found the Suzanne Somers plan, which I think I've mentioned here before too. Suzanne Somers from Three's Company. She's a beautiful lady. She's passed away, but she had a whole diet system that many of you might have not heard of, or maybe you have, but lots of books and recipe books. But it's basically a modified Atkins plan where you can have some fruit, but alone in the morning. But the thing about the Suzanne plan is that it involves a lot of sugar substitutes and sugar-free candy. And we all know what that can do to ourselves. And I think I even mentioned before, I made a pizza and a crust made out of pork rinds because it was no carb and that was okay, which now just sounds crazy to me. That, a pork rind crust would be considered healthy. But in a bit over a year, I lost 110 pounds on that plan. And I got down to what I called my svelte 186. It sort of sounds like a radio station, but I felt like, I don't know, like I could run around naked. I didn't, but I felt like I am just like, this is awesome. I still had a ways to go, but I was so happy about my mobility and whatnot. And I was so happy, but it didn't really matter because I just merely touched 186 and I started losing my grip on it. And part of it was, on the Suzanne plan, it's called summer sizing, and the premise is to get to your goal and then continue eating that way. But you can slowly and carefully see how many imbalances your body can handle before you gain weight. So, I started thinking about that at 186, I wonder if I can have ice cream and then see if I don't gain any weight. And it was just all over. Like Lulu, you've said in the past, the shade comes down. Like you get off of a track and the shade, it just came down. And I started to climb again from 186 to 275. Again, that weight I had been at so long. And then from the ages of like 45 to 55, I just quit checking my weight. I was so depressed about my weight. I'm like, I can't handle it. I can't fix it. I've tried everything. And then one afternoon, I came across a LULU'S video, that came into my feed because I like to watch things about simple living and little campers. And Lulu, your personal story and your truthful words just knocked me on the head, and it brought me to tears. I cried there on my couch. It scared the heck out of me because I didn't think I could do it. But I felt such striking similarities to my own feelings, and it just would not leave my mind. I went to sleep thinking about Lulu. I got up and, binge watched a bunch more Lulu stuff I could find. And then I decided I'm going to check in and get on the scale. And that was October 29th this past year, and 281 pounds stared back at me on that scale. And I thought about where I had been and where I was going again. And it was depressing, and I was just so, so sick of it. And I never really paused to wonder how my weight gain timeline matched up with my emotional timeline. I never really thought about that, like a really bumpy childhood, getting married so young. I had a friendly but really painful divorce after 21 years, job changes, remarriage to my wonderful husband. I used food to cope with all uncomfortable feelings, scared, angry, sad, boredom, and used food for fun and entertainment and excitement. It didn't really matter the emotion. It had food to go along with it, and it was unhealthy food, a lot of sugar. So I just started taking steps after finding Lulu and kind of being scared about my abilities. The first week, I just said, I'm going to have a Lulu kind of breakfast. And I did that the first week. And my husband remembers my first bowl of oatmeal with all those blueberries, because I was like, I just can't eat like this, But if you would have brought me cinnamon rolls, I could have eaten the whole pack, And I'm like, I can't eat all this. This is way too much food, But I just kept. Ron's like, really? You can eat that. I'm like, I suppose. So, but eating that much healthy food was really not second nature to me at all, and especially not with sugar or sweetener all over it. And so then the second week I said, to myself, I can do the breakfast and the dinner, a Lulu kind of dinner. And so I made that my goal, and I got that down. And then, the next week I did no snack before bed, even though it's it's like a healthy snack, no snack before bed. So I did that for a few weeks, and then it just started to snowball. And I was like, I don't want it. I don't want to do this week by week. I don't want to take a couple of months to get my bearings. This has been great, but I'm done. I can do this, and I just made the jump, and it was a little bit hard, and it was a lot of it easy. It was so much easier than all that thinking and trying to say, well and nothing. So it just got so much easier. And then I did have what I will call a Christmas hiccup, which is I decided to have cookies at Christmas because I thought, at least, Nicole, you can have cookies at Christmas. That's it, not your birthday, no other time, but Christmas, you can have cookies. And so I decided I would have one controlled sitting of an assortment of special cookies made by a really great friend who's a really great baker. And I had a little plate of cookies, and they were delicious, as they have been every year. And I didn't tell myself then, what they taste like, you don't have to eat them. I thought, I can do this. This is it. This is the only thing. And then I'm not one to wake up in the night hungry. I'm not one to wake up in the night for really any reason other than a pup or a cat who's making noise. And I was wide awake from 1 to 3 a.m. thinking about the rest of the cookies in the freezer. and maybe I should go eat them now and be done with it. No, you're not hungry for cookies, but the cookies are there and they're going to be there tomorrow. And you just had some, and wouldn't it be nice to have some? And I could not believe it. It was like, I don't know, Barb, like sugar is the devil. I don't know what that was, but I couldn't believe it. And I just thought, here we go again. And oh no. And that was that. I just sealed my commitment to 100%, no exceptions. Like, you cannot handle it. I lay there in my bed, I was wide awake, like, oh, I'm not getting out of here. If you can't handle it, no exceptions. So, I know that food, well, because we're blessed, food will be a part of every single day of my life, for the rest of my life, right? And I know from experience that it can be poison, self-abuse, and hopelessness, or it can be medicine, health, vibrancy, self-care, and self-love. And a couple of things that Lulu has said really resonate with me, which is, don't expect this food plan to end. It's a journey that never has to end. And all of us have free will. We can end it at any time we want. We can end it for any reason we want, but it doesn't have to end. Like, that's a choice. And I want to keep choosing this plan because it gives me everything I really want. And she also said it's work. It's not a free ride, but boy, is it worth it. And that's what I'm finding. And I'm in the messy middle. But what I am finding is, I wrote down these 3 things. Freedom from everything I just described that's been weighing me down and consuming my days and years, I'll say. If we think about 13 to 55, that's like most of my life. And I'm also finding hope that not only is the future exciting and bright, right now is pretty exciting and bright. I weigh 230, I've lost 51 pounds, but it's exciting. It's exciting. It's not like, oh, why can't I be, 100 and whatever right now? This part is very exciting and precious to me. And then trust. I can trust myself to take care of me. No one else can. It's an inside job. And so I'm the only one who can do it. No one can do it for me. No one can do the work or reap the benefits that it will for my own self. And so I'm just so thankful to be on this journey. I'm thankful, like Lulu, you said, when this meeting started, you said that you and Barb were just bozos on the same bus as us, but I really envision you at the front of the bus with like a clipboard and a shiny whistle. And, you've stopped the bus for each of us, and the big bus door is open in that expressive way that bus doors do. And, you've said, come on. And hopping on the bus has really been the best thing I've ever done. This to me isn't a diet, it's a live it. I think I said that before. I don't want to give it up. You'd have to pretty much wrestle it away from me because it's precious to me. It's my lifeline. It's what makes anything else work. It's not like, oh, I'm going to follow this food plan and everything's going to be perfect. There's a lot of emotional stuff that then you aren't eating away. You have to deal with it. But I think this time in my life is really beautiful because I'm in a safe place to deal with it. It's not a race. I don't have to hurry. I just have to plod along and deal with what comes up. I just feel so grateful. So grateful. And so happy that we're all in this together. I've said this before. I think about you guys during the whole week. I think about you off and on during the day. Like when I'm making things, I think you're probably making things, or, what we're doing to serve ourselves well. And I don't know, it's like a portal open from heaven. And I'm just so grateful. So that's my journey. I don't know if you can see this, but I wanted to show you some pictures of like my highest, but I have to do a lot of digging because, they're not like in the books. they're like in an envelope upside down somewhere in a box that says do not open, So, but I don't know if you can see this picture or not, but this is kind of me, at 280. So I'm just really looking forward to, when I look at this now, and I'm not even done, I'm still have a long way to go. When I look at this, I think that this woman, yes, she is beautiful, but she's carrying a lot, and it's not just weight. She's carrying a lot of unresolved emotions, pain, disappointment, and she's taking it all out on herself, and I'm glad to be stopping that. That's not the place that's going to be taken out anymore. So anyway, that's my story.
Cool. That was just so wonderful. Oh my goodness.
That was a great story, Nicole.
Yeah. I can relate to everything. And because you know my story. It's not much different. It's not much different. It's that. And I was 55 years old when I was done. And it's like, we could have been done when we were 20, but we weren't. So it's like, it's just the way it went, and I don't have to wish for any, I've heard it said like it's I forget I'm paraphrasing it, but it's like, it's insanity to be wishing for a different past. Like, I wish I had a different past, like just a total waste of time. The past is what it is. And I think everything that happened to me with the food and my whole distorted relationship with food, all those years from when I was 14, because 14 was when I went to Weight Watchers for the first time, till 55, actually brought me to this space where it's like, done. Like, sometimes you just have to suffer for a long time to really come to that space where you're just done, and you seem very done.
Yeah, I think I'm in the done club.
Yeah.
I don't want that anymore.
No.
I want the rest to be way better. Yeah. And you can't be way better if you can't leave your house, or if you can't, go to an event and not be consumed with food, or, as we get older, you're carrying that weight on your body. You can't do things. You're going to be stuck, and I don't want to be stuck at home in a chair or going to doctor's appointments. That those words you said, they will stay with me forever. Lulu, you're going to be fat, drunk, smoker's cough, and going to doctors in your glorious retirement years. And I'm like, Nicole, you are 55 years old and you don't drink a lot, but you're going or smoke, but you're going to be fat and going to doctor's appointments in your glorious retirement years. And not only that, but just ruining every day because all you think about is, I hate this and I can't control this, and
the self-loathing, like that was like, when that lifted, when I came to a space that I didn't despise myself anymore. Not only that like I was, not to be ashamed of myself, that living in shame and just not feeling good about myself, and just disappointing myself every day by failing at what I really want and just not doing it. Having that all gone, it's just gone, and you're just left with yourself to love. And it's amazing how much we love everybody else and what we do to ourselves. But when you start to love yourself, you are there for others in a whole different way when you're coming from self-love, so I'm so grateful you shared your story. That was just so great, Nicole. I am just thrilled with you. And I was imagining myself with a clipboard in the front of the bus.
Yeah.
And I actually, that made me tear up. I don't know. I imagine the doors open to me. Get your ass in here. Sit down and shut up.
And you all are hanging out the windows. Come on. We're going places.
Yeah.
Well, I do like beautiful, like I think of things all the time, just analogies or like beautiful things. And I think I've even said this one before, but Lulu, it's like you're a beautiful trapeze artist and you're swinging on the trapeze and you're gorgeous and sparkly and happy and healthy. And you're reaching back to get the next one of us ready to go. And then, then there's 2 doing that. And then there's 3. I mean, I just love to think of all the different, like, beautiful kind of things that a group like this does, that you've started by just sharing your struggle and your journey. You found something that really works, and you didn't hide it. You share it, and look what it's just helping so many of us.
And that's what you're doing tonight. You're sharing your story. All the people on here heard it. People that will listen to the recording will hear it, and that's just helps so many people. They'll hear your story, they'll resonate with it, and so you're in the same bus. You got a clipboard too.
I'll be in the back jumping up and down waiting for something fun to happen. Like the naughty kids on the way back of the bus used to do.
Yeah. I figured the ones in the back of the bus will be sitting there with like donuts and cookies. Now you'd be in the back
towards the front.
Yeah, stay in the front. Remember, like in school, you go to the back of the bus and smoke cigarettes way in the back. The last like 3 seats. I don't know. I did. I did.
I didn't know that's what was. I thought people were just bouncing back there, waiting for a bump, not smoke.
No, we were being bad.
Thank you, guys.
So thank you so much, Nicole. Barb.
Yes.
Hi.
Nicole, that's an amazing story. I took down notes just because it helps me stay focused, for whatever reason. But I think your story is like everybody's story, right? I mean, I think we've all seen. I call it my sine wave, right? I'm up, I'm down. I'm up, I'm down, and I just touch down, and then I scream back up because you have the sugar, and like you said, sugar is the devil. But what would you say what are you using for your start date? That's what I'd like to know. I mean, you kind of weaned yourself in, and I like how you did that because I did the same thing. You kind of weaned yourself in. Okay, I'll try breakfast, and then I'll do breakfast and dinner, and then finally you just said, oh, what the hell with it, I'm just going to do the whole thing, and that's what you've been doing now for at least 8 months, right? So would you say, because it was before Christmas you started, or what do you have for a start date? I'm just curious.
Yeah, the day I got on the scale was October 29th, 2023, and I saw the new number. And, it was that first month, so the month of November, where I was working on the plan, So I still think, I just think of like October, that last day, or 11/1 as my start date, because I really started. I didn't start 100%. I was really scared. Like, can I even do this? And we didn't have this group yet. And I thought, well, I just got to figure out what this lady's doing and try to do that, And so, but it only took it only took a little bit, because I just kept thinking. I wrote down a list in my journal of like, what am I getting now? What do I get now? And what do I want to have? And I was so sick of, it sounds great. Oh, let's have a treat. But when you're having treats all the time, you just get so sick of it. You get sick of like, okay, I've had cake, I've had candy, I've had cookies. What can I make now? You just are so busy with food that, so I started this journal, just a page in my journal of just, what am I getting now? And what do I really want? And it really comes down to, what do you want more? Do you want more of what you've been having and how you've been feeling, or do you want something else? And so that first month, November, and I worried about Christmas. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And can I do it? And what if I can't do it? And I kind of been more of like a little chicken with my head cut off kind of person. I'm not really calm. I freak out inside, like, I got to know what I'm going to do, or I won't be able to do it, instead of just slowing down, which I'm learning. But, so yeah, that thought that I could just have cookies at Christmas, because then I could do it, This is just a stupid thing I was telling myself, because of course I could do anything without, going off my plan. And I know that now. So, that one hiccup, but that really taught me a lesson, which is I am about to lose it, and I don't want to say, well, I lost it and then I got it back in a month and I lost it. I didn't want to do the roller coaster. And I went, I just laid there in bed going, you are in trouble, So yeah, your question, I guess I would just say November 1st, because it was the last day of October, and that I still consider that I started bumpily with the hiccup, but pretty much by the end of November, I was doing it 100%.
Yeah, I like November 1st too, because that's when you started shifting your mindset, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just like black and white, right? I think we all kind of dabbled our toes into it a little bit, right? So tell me, what was your feeling you got that wonderful feeling when you saw Lulu in her video and she told her story, and what was your feeling when she announced healthy food, healthy life?
Well, it was a really good feeling. It was a really good feeling, and I was super excited, like, what? I just felt like the planets lined up for me. Do you know what I mean? Perfectly. Like, I found this, and now there's going to be something that will give me some support and just a place to learn more and really stay on track. So I was just like I said, a portal from heaven just opened up. And then, I think the second, I was so afraid to talk because I am not a big talker.
Doing pretty good, Nicole, just saying.
I know. So anyway, the second meeting, I thought, I want to say something. I better say something because this is for me. I want to learn and I want to introduce myself. I'm like, oh God, don't want to do that. I have two people inside of me. One's trying to hold me back and one's trying to get things done. And I thought, well, okay. So I was a little embarrassed. I think I even said I better come into another room because I felt myself getting emotional, like really emotional. Mm-hmm. And I just said what my troubles were. And I started to cry. I don't know if you guys remember that who are here.
I remember. And
I'm like, oh God, you are losing it. And I thought, I'll never see these people again. It doesn't matter. So I was mortified, but then I just realized it was such a relief. And then Lulu, you said, why don't you write to me? And so I just wrote to you and just said, here's my story. And I said, but I'm doing it and I want to hang on to it. I'm taking it day by day. And then I had my first trip to go visit my girlfriend in California. And I was worried because it's a lot about eating. And she's not unhealthy, but, I am. And so we go out to eat and snacks and all this and that. And I told Lulu, I'm going to go do this and I'm going to stay on track. And you wrote to me, Lulu, and all you said, and I still will never forget it. And I say it to myself sometimes in the morning, how's Nicole? Because, you knew I went on that trip and you texted me like, how's Nicole doing? And I hope you're doing okay with your friend. Are you having any? And that meant like the world to me because I thought this lady in Boston, Lulu, knows where I am because she's paying attention to what I've said and she's asking me how I'm doing, and I'm doing great because, and that just gave me such a boost though, like that I wasn't alone, that somebody who's walked this path is, checking in on me. And so, yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like a portal from heaven opened up.
Nice.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Lulu asked me to co-host, because I had also been writing her before all this started, and then it was like, she says, well, think about it, let me know. And I said, okay, I'll do it. It was like instantaneous. Are you crazy? Of course I'll do it. Yeah. I mean, this is, and I've never done Weight Watchers or any kind of support group or any group thing ever. So it was way outside my comfort zone, but so important. And the community is so amazing that I'm so happy that she asked me. Yeah. And I'm so glad that you all are here, and especially you, Nicole, because your story is amazing. Should we
You did a beautiful job, Nicole. You're so well spoken. You just really tell a good story. And Barb, I was thinking just before I signed on, before 6 o'clock, I was thinking like, the best thing I ever did was ask you to co-host with me.
Aww.
Because you were just like, the passion that you have. You just have such passion for this, and you just care about everybody, and you have a strong story to tell, and you just want the best, and you always have like great feedback for everybody. And you text me with like, how about this, and how about this topic, and how about this, and she's tallying up all the weight loss, and she wants to say the number, of how much everybody lost, and she's just like, I felt it, and before she was even doing this, before we had the group, I just felt that she would be a good choice. And there's many times after this meeting ends, she's like just so fired up and so excited that like my phone rings, and it's just like she just has to say like, was that great? Wasn't that great? Wasn't that great?
The stalker in Rhode Island.
Yeah. And it was a and I only knew of her because she was writing me. She was writing me from the beginning, weren't you? Like right when I started my channel, didn't you start writing me?
Yeah, Lulu. Yeah.
It's been a while.
I'm a little bit of a stalker. Hold on one second. I'm sweating. You see, look at me. I'm red. I'm so red, Lulu. Hold on.
Did I make you blush?
You flushed me, Lulu. You flushed me. Yeah, it was right when you started your channel. It was because I started in March and you started of 2023.
Yeah, nobody was emailing me about really anything. I mean, nobody really even knew me, but she just.
I mean, what's the worst thing? You just, you ghost me, But that didn't happen.
No, we were in touch. We were in touch pretty much on a regular basis throughout that whole year. And I was like, this woman wants it. She wants it bad.
Yeah. So everybody, when Lulu says if you have a question, just write her. She means it, and she will get right back to you. And she's yeah.
So far, I've been able to keep up. It's a project, especially like.
Thank you for the kind words.
Oh, Barb.
Thank you very much for the kind words.
Perfect co-host. And you
were a gift to me because I always try to help people, and I've always wanted to do something like this, but it's hard to get people engaged. But you have such a way to get people here that just supporting you is nice.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we're both co-hosts. I don't feel like I know I've brought the people here from my channel, but I feel like we just do this 50-50,
Yeah.
So
thanks,
thank you for sticking with it, and put the fan on, Bob, will you?
I just want to say one more quick thing, and that is, something I think about usually when I lay my head down at night is there are a lot of people who, we're kind of getting our bearings with the other people in our lives. Some of our discussions here have been about that. But when I lay my head down at night, I think it really doesn't matter who doesn't understand this. I understand this. Lulu understands this. Barb understands this. Chris, you understand this. Pam, you understand. I could go through all of your names. We meet here because we understand this. And that's enough. You know what I mean? That's enough of understanding. That's all I need. Nobody cares what you put in your mouth. They don't care what you ingest into your body. You have to reckon with that. You have to reckon with, like, how do you love yourself? But having this group, and there's a lot of people I see the people who don't talk, and I still love you. And I still see your names, and I'm like, yay, they're back again. Or, oh, yeah, they're back again. And I scan who's not on video because I want to make sure, I just want to make sure, I see who's here, because it really means something when people's names keep showing up again and again and again. It's like, yay. And I'm just saying, I'll do this for the rest of my life, every Thursday night, the rest of my life, even if we just all become so, this is so nothing we have to discuss and we just visit, which I don't think will happen because we're all going to want to, inspire and keep the newbies going too. But yeah. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. And, if you have that, like the names that you mentioned, the people that are doing it and that are peaceful with it, that embracing it. And you know, it's kind of a project to get to that spot where you're not just doing it, but you want to do it. You know, that's a jump. That's a jump. So, you know, it just takes time. It takes a little bit of time until you just love the results so much that you want it way more than you want any cookie. You know, that cookie's not going to make my Christmas merry. So many other things make it merry, you know? And yeah. And we just, if you get that, it's like such a huge gift. It's a huge gift. You know, because I mean, people do this. You know, I went on diets. I was a very successful dieter my whole life because I would stay on the diet and I would lose weight. But it was miserable. The whole time, all I was doing was fantasizing about what I was going to have. You know, I was never in the moment and content. I was always in the future when this was done because I wanted it to be done, you know? And so then you just start loving everything that you have. You love your food, and it's just so much better to live in this space. So if you're there, guard it. It's precious, you know? And if you're not there, keep coming back, you know? Yeah.
I think the nice thing about this plan is that I think we all fell into the, okay, I'm there, so that then you just start eating the way you did. And we all know that we're not going to go there. We're going to add more food. We're going to eat healthy, but we're not going to go back to the things that don't serve us well. And having that realization was huge for me because that's why I always dip down and I can never maintain it. And then I'll shoot back up again. And it's embarrassing, you know, It's really embarrassing to do that. And then everybody at work sees you. And nobody says anything.
And you know something, Bob?
Good and bad.
Bob, like what you were just saying, that's like all of our experience. We all experience that, you know? And it's like, that's all we know. Like, who do you know that like loses weight and keeps it off? Like, who do you know that does that? You know? So there's never really been like an example for me. But I feel like, you know, God provided me this platform to, you know, go on YouTube. I was just, my bio in my YouTube channel said, senior woman traveling in a van. That was my bio. Because that's what I was. That's what I am. But that was my channel, you know, but all I was doing was cooking in my van like everybody else cooks in their van on YouTube. That's what I was doing. Except that I think what happened was over like a year's time was like people were seeing that like I was always doing it all the time, 100% of the time. And I don't think you get to see that very often, you know? So when you see that, you're like, well, geez, you know, like if she can do it, why couldn't I do it, you know? And then I just started talking about, because I never shut up, I just started talking about my past, you know, and go check out my bio now on my channel. It's a new rewritten bio that I just posted a few weeks ago. And for me, it was a lot of hard work. It was a very hard work to write that. I had some help with it and drafts, about a bazillion drafts of it, till I really fine-tuned what my channel is. What is Lulu's Way? And it's a beautiful, beautiful statement in my bio. So if you want to go check that out. If I do say so myself, it's beautiful.
I have it right here. Can I read it?
Oh, you want to read it?
Yeah, can I?
Okay.
Oh, sure.
At Lulu's Way, I aspire to foster excitement in others to realize they can create and live a better life. With a sprinkle of inspiration, a dash of encouragement, and a pinch of practical knowledge, we create a recipe to live our best life together. You'll find me doing my favorite things: cooking, creating, communicating, gardening, dancing, thrifting, relaxing, or hitting the road for adventures in my camper van.
I hope you'll be inspired to believe that joy comes from a life lived with a strong sense of care, self-love, and gratitude. I ask myself, does this serve me well? By promoting physical well-being, nurturing emotional balance, and encouraging spiritual growth, I hope you feel empowered. You shape your life and create a happier, healthier, more fulfilling existence. I ask you, does it serve you well? Consider this community your online neighborhood, offering a sense of belonging and companionship to share experiences and support each other's journey. Won't you be my neighbor? Yes, I will. That's great, Lulu. Thank you.
I'm very happy with it.
That's good.
It just feels nice. Feels really nice.
Yeah, and this place is all about community, right? Well, Tuesday and Thursday, it's all about community.
Yes.
And
my channel too.
Community
And
is so important. It's one of the pillars. It's one of the pillars.
Yeah, and even in
one of my pillars.
all the comments on my videos, that's a whole other community. There's just and the meetups, that's another community. It's just lots of people coming together, and it feels really nice.
Yeah. Do you think, and we hadn't talked about this, and Nicole, as long as you're okay with it, but maybe we should open it up to people who would like to ask you questions, Nicole? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I'm kind of going off the...
Yeah, or if you would like to just to comment that you identify with her, or you just want to share about your week, or just really anything. But I would direct some questions at Nicole if you have any questions, or you'd like to just...
Or if you just want to share, that's good too.
Yes, yeah.
Bonnie's had her hand up. Bonnie, are you there? Did you want to chat?
I do. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hello.
I had an appointment to get my hair cut after work, and so I got here late, and actually I didn't think I was going to get to the meeting, but I had such a nice remark from my hairdresser that I had to run home and log on and share with y'all. I haven't even had dinner yet, and I'm starving. And so I missed the beginning. I don't know exactly what the topic was, but I came in to hear Nicole, which she's always great, and she has such a way of saying things. And I heard her say, this lady was carrying around a lot of stuff, and Nicole, I'm going to get emotional if I don't watch myself, besides weight. And Nicole, so if we were put next to each other, we would look like night and day maybe, but we are the sister from another mister, because I was doing the exact same thing. My weight was an insulation. This is where I want to get. I wasn't planning to say all this. I'll get to the, but it was. I use food, and I've always, everybody uses food for entertainment, excitement, good, bad, indifferent. But I was using it to insulate myself from things in my life I had no control over, really. And I just thought, well, I have control over me. And so if I want to eat, I'm going to have it. And, but it didn't bring me the peace, and it didn't bring me the enjoy, and it just kind of compounded. And then I found Lulu. I found van life stuff when the young lady from Florida had been murdered by her boyfriend. But that's how I found van life. I didn't even know van life was a thing. And so somehow Lulu came across, YouTube shows you different things. And I found Lulu probably right before she came home from a trip. I don't really even remember where it was to, if it was Florida or whatever. And her family had put a banner on the house that said YouTube sensation.
Oh, yeah.
And so right before that, I started watching Lulu, and I've been watching her ever since. And I don't know how long that's been, but I think I might be going on a year now. And Lulu, you are such an inspiration. I was thinking of this again today, and I so appreciate you. And you're right. We've watched you for a long time be consistent with your healthy eating, and you made it look so delicious, because if food isn't good, who cares, right? So it was healthy, delicious food. And I will have to say, one thing I noticed about a lot of van life YouTubers is some are overweight, because they're not really getting that much exercise, and they're not eating healthy. And one thing I think about is, man, I don't really know if I want to do that, if that's what it's going to cause. but you just have to be responsible for what you're feeding yourself in more ways than one. But I went to the hairdresser, and I put on a pair of little pants I bought right before I went on vacation, and a shirt I had bought, and I wore the pants a week or so ago, and I thought, oh, these are kind of big, bummer. I haven't even worn them, and they're already too big. And then the shirt that I had worn, and I love this little shirt, I haven't had it long, I put it on, and I'm like, it just feels too big. But no, I turned the pants up at the waist, to kind of bring them up snugger. And I went to the hairdresser, and I walked in, and she goes, "What are you doing? You look so good." And you guys do not know what that means to me, because I've made comments on here several times how everybody I know, no one makes any comment like, "Wow, you've really lost a lot of weight and you look good." And, and you just wonder sometimes, does anybody see me? But that's where, again, I have to realize I'm in this for me. And yeah, I would love for people to notice and, encourage me and make compliments. But if they don't, I'm still going to do it because it's for me. And I feel great. And she went on like 5 minutes, which I had seen her, a couple of months ago, and I had lost some weight. I think I told her then, and I'm not sure she noticed so much, but she definitely did today. And she made me feel over the moon. What if your face, it just looks so different, and what's going on with you? You look so good. And I'm just going to tell you, that was worth $1 million, and no cookie can give you that feeling.
Good for you, Bonnie.
Very nice, Bonnie.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it takes to get to a certain spot before people start noticing or go, "Oh yeah, she really is into this," right? So that's really good. All right, Sherry from Seattle, you're up.
Hi, everybody. Nicole, you touch my heart. Thank you for knowing me. Thank you for getting it. Thank you for speaking for us. Bonnie, also, I'm just so happy for you. I know exactly what you mean. That's, yay, you're looking great. It's just, you deserve that. That's awesome. But what I originally put my hand up to say was that, I texted Lulu asking her when I first decided to, join up. I've been watching, like most of you seem to. I've been watching, watching the videos and not missing a beat, and decided, I can do this. And I start, of course, me being me, I have a gazillion questions, and I emailed Lulu, and I was so shocked. She replied, like that same day. I didn't even know how to react. And I, and she answered all my questions that I had that day. And I have emailed her many times since, and she has always replied. And I know, Lulu, that your following is growing and growing, and I am very grateful that I got to be one of those people that you cared enough to answer. And you change our lives. You change our lives. Thank you. You just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Sherry.
That's really well said, Sherry.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very kind.
Yep. Yep, she changes our lives for the best. We are blessed. And she's a good dancer.
And I still reply to emails. So even I don't know when it's going to be too much between the comments on YouTube and then all the Facebook groups, all the approving and reading all those posts, and the gratitude group and the book study group, and today I got a slew of emails because of my video yesterday when I said, email me if you live in any one of these states that I'll be driving through. Okay, so now I have like a flow chart of the states and the order on which I'll, and I'm emailing everybody telling them I got them on a list and but I mean, I said it, right? I put my email, so I guess I'll stop doing that when I can't do it, but I've already replied to all of them today. So, and I don't want to say, oh, email me with anything, or email me if you live in one of these states, and then not answer, So it might take me a day or two, but I don't know when it won't make any, because I mean, a lot of people in YouTube, that when they grow, they just stop, like you don't just message some people and not other people, you know what I mean? So you either do it or you don't. That's how I feel,
Yeah.
So I haven't, I'm for today, I'm still doing it. So email me if you have any questions, or if you just want to say hi, or just say hi.
All right, everybody, we're gonna get done with this, and everybody.
Gonna get bombarded again.
Emails coming your way. 43.
If you have any questions, you can email Barb. No.
Yeah. Yes, my email is LULU'S, LUEITH @gmail.com.
Oh.
See, what other person is not a stalker if they don't know her email off the top of their head? That's all I'm saying about that. All right, Kathleen.
Well,
how are you?
I'm good.
Hi,
it's
Kathleen.
so nice to see everybody here tonight. And Nicole, thank you for being so brave and sharing your story. And do I have any questions? I can't even think of one. I'm so just touched by your story, as everyone is, which why no one's raising their hand because everybody's crying. And and nobody wants to talk. But it was beautiful. It was beautiful, relatable, and I really appreciate the time you took to put it together in such a concise way that we could all follow it, because I'm sure we were all going back to where we were in the 6th and 7th grade in high school, and it was just really a nice timeline for us to picture it all. And just thank you. And I also liked how you mentioned the people that are here every week. I noticed everybody's names. I have a piece of paper. I write everybody's names down. I went back in my journal. Like I have a notebook here of just every meeting, everybody's little tidbits, and you all mean something to me. And so just the fact that you're here, it's really nice. And I get not speaking, because I didn't speak either. Then I wouldn't let Lulu put anything on YouTube for a long time either. So, just keep doing what you can do, as much as you can do. And you don't have to report in if you don't want to report in, but just keep showing up and keep doing it, because that's how you get stronger. And I did mention one time too, and it meant a lot to me when I said it, that if you can try to speak up here, it makes it easier for when you have to speak up at other occasions. If you can speak up here among your peers, even if you just say hello or how your day was, then it builds up that muscle, so that when you have to speak, for why you're not having somebody's cupcake, or, why you're not having anybody's birthday cake. Because if you want to stay on this plan, that day's going to come when you're going to have to say that. And it's really nice if you can work at, flexing those muscles here, because you're all among friends. And so that's all I wanted to say. Thanks everybody for showing up, and thanks Nicole for being such an inspiration to us all. We really love you.
Thanks, Kathleen. That was a good point. That's a good point about how, speak up here and feel comfortable speaking up. And then you go speak up for yourself when you're out there with being bombarded with food, and everybody feeling like food is love. And if they believe that it's love, that's okay, but it's not love to me. And people will eventually get it. They'll eventually understand that you still care about them and love them, that you're not going to express any special emotions towards somebody by eating their food. That's how I feel. So
nice. Yeah, very well said, Kathleen. Thank you.
Yes.
Let me see. I wasn't paying attention to who came on. I have to look at the list more. Helen M. Helen M.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, Helen.
Hi. Well, something, Barb, you just said about pillars, and thinking about when Nicole's journey that she has worked her way through and continuing on, as we all are. And also thinking and relating that to what we talked about with the cycle of overeating. And I think that some of the other plans that you have, whether it be Suzanne Summers or somebody else, the pillars, it takes the community, it takes the plan, but it also takes recognizing your feelings and all the different things that we have discussed here. And each week I have gained a little bit more that just makes me feel that I can do this, that it's just not about the food. I see so many new people coming on to Facebook and such and joining our journey. And I think that's fabulous. And we're all in the beginning so focused on the eating plan. But as you stick around and you start recognizing all these other elements that are required to be successful. And I just want to say I appreciate everyone and every little bit of advice that has come our way. So, and just thank you all.
Thank you, Helen. That was beautifully said. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Nicely said.
Yeah. It is. It's a great community. I love it. And and it just keeps cementing what I'm choosing to do every day, and then, to watch other people doing the same thing, it's just so cool. It's so cool. I love it. And I'm so glad you're all here.
Yeah. Yeah, Lulu, you laid the foundation and the rest of us are building the pillar up and supporting it and grabbing people to get on the crazy bus.
Yeah, because when I think about you,
not a crazy bus.
When I think okay, so I've been doing this for over 10 years, but it's still you and I are doing the same thing. Me and Nicole are doing the same thing. We're living our lives without food in the forefront of everything. We're living our lives in a beautiful way, putting food in its proper place, which is just nourishment, energy. It's just what gives me energy every day. It gives me nourishment and energy. And it's I seemed hopeless too, until I just made that decision. So everybody is one decision away from changing your life. One decision away. So.
Yep. All right. Helen B. from Phoenix, Arizona. Hi, Helen.
Hi, Helen.
Hi there. I just have to say, what another beautiful session tonight. It's just so uplifting, and I've smiled so much. I feel like my cheeks are a little bit sore because I'm just so proud of everybody. Makes me so happy. I wanted to share, I told my husband this week, I've been grocery shopping twice for the food, Whole Foods and Sprouts. And it was so nice when I checked out to look at all the food I was putting on the belt. And I was proud of everything I was putting on there instead of being embarrassed and ashamed at what I was putting on there. And it was such a good feeling. And I like that. And the other thing is that it's helping me to try new things. I picked up a Japanese sweet potato, and I saw a Japanese eggplant. I thought, well, why not try that? And I did, and it was just wonderful. So I'm kind of opening up and enlarging the things that I typically wouldn't, because I wasn't a real good vegetable eater, and would just depend on a few things like canned green beans or so it's nice to open up to other things and be trying new things and discovering things that I like. So thank you. And especially Nicole, that was just so beautiful. So beautiful.
Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you so much, Helen.
Thank you, Helen.
Oh yeah, I know that. I know exactly what you're talking about. That just like putting all that, and also the stuff I used to put on the thing, you know, the groceries. Some of the stuff would be open or empty. You know, I feel like what a loser. You can't even get out of the store. You know, and I used to I would pride myself that I'm paying for it, so that means I'm a good person. You know, I didn't just ditch the empty wrappers. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I had, you know, and I'm just like, oh God, God bless me, you know, and but I know that feeling when you just look at everything on that belt, and it's just all the colors and all the fresh, everything's fresh, and it's just like, yep, all that stuff is coming right here, baby.
Yeah. You think I'm only on day 5. I still can't eat that much food yet, but I'm sure I'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're doing great, Helen.
Yeah, great, Helen.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Who do we got next?
Okie dokie. All right, Christy, you're up. Hi, Christy.
Hi, Christy.
Good to see you.
How's
New York? How's New York?
How's New York City?
It's actually rainy and cold yesterday and today. We're like 66 degrees both days. It's kind of a nice break, though.
Yeah.
I love the fall. So it's like, ooh, fall weather. But no, starting tomorrow, we're back in the 80s. So I'm like, I love fall and winter. So I'm like, I can't wait. But yeah, it's cold, wet, lots of rain. And but no, I wasn't good as usual. I wasn't going to say anything again tonight. But you guys said sometimes just come on and speak up and say hi, because it helps you give courage. You know, maybe not even just to others. I think of it to myself. It's giving me courage to myself to tell myself no. I still have been that damn sugar barb. The devil. Ever since vacation, I've been struggling to just be 100% again. I was doing so. I even told my husband, I think it was yesterday, I'm like, Jesus, I thought this week was going to be the week, and then I had a slip up, and it was like, oh my God. Ever since I indulged on vacation, it was just, it's been such a struggle saying no to stuff, and no one's pushing me. It's all me, and I'm like, I just cave. I give in. Man. Yeah, right? I give in. Yeah, it is. It's a crack cocaine devil or whatever. But that's why I got on. I wanted to say hi so I can remind myself to speak up to myself. You know, get back on track. I mean, I've been doing pretty good. It's just I give in every once in a while with a goodie or, you know, a so-called treat or something like, oh, I was good all day long, so now it's 8:30 at night, let's have a treat, you know?
Yeah.
And I have to get back to that point again where I was doing so good towards the middle of June into July until I hit my vacation. But I texted in the little chats just to keep on coming back to the group. Everyone is so inspiring here. For anyone that might be just thinking about giving up, don't give up, because you guys are all inspiring. We're all here for each other. And if Lulu doesn't mind us stalking her, then why not? Let's all be stalkers, right? So just try to keep your clothes on, that's all. When you're doing it. Yeah, we don't want to be streakers. No streakers, just stalkers. But yeah, I just want to say thank you always to everyone, and thank you, Nicole. Your story and just speaking up was wonderful. And I don't know, Nicole, should I tell them our little inside joke thingy that we got going? So me and Nicole, I called her first a food maniac. Because I text her sometimes and I'm like, well, what about this? And she's like, well, I don't know, because now I only do 100% and there might be sugar in that sauce. And I'm like, oh crap, I didn't even think about looking for that. It's a healthy sauce, but there is sugar in it. I think it was a soy sauce or something.
She's
like, you're such a food maniac. And I'm like, you know what? I want to be a food maniac too. So...
she's the food police.
Yeah.
She's the food police.
Yeah. The food police now, yeah. So she sees you as on the bus with your whistle and your clipboard. I see her with her police baton, like, no, look at the ingredients.
Put that down. Put that down. Put your hands up. Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But
Well, you know something?
yeah, for anyone that's struggling, I'm struggling too. I was doing good, and then one thing. So it's hard when you have those struggles. But if, like you said, you guys have all been there,
Yep.
and you fought it, and you still, maybe not you, Lulu. I don't know about you, Barb, but I'm sure at some point there's something that goes through your head, like, no, it's not worth it. Yeah. And now the holidays are coming up. So we do have to remember not to want those cookies or whatever else, you know?
I just know that I'm going to have...
What's coming up?
Holidays.
All the holidays will be coming up soon.
I just know that I am going to have a happy Thanksgiving and I'm going to have a Merry Christmas. That's what I know about the holiday. And Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Let me just say that, just know that, like, for me, like, doing it 100% is kind of like the way that works for me. You know, if you can do it 90% and still reach your goals and still have a peaceful head, then do it. I mean, I don't do 90%.
I'm like you though. I can't.
Yeah. So just like, that's just a reminder. So Christy, when you do speak up, it's a reminder that, like, if you do make an exception for a vacation or for Christmas, whatever, it doesn't mean that you're going to get it right back. You might not get it back. And that's just it. If I knew I could just have a little cheat one day and go right back to what I do the next day, I'd probably do it. But I have seen it play out way too many times. I don't have to see it one more time. I don't have to see it one more time. So when the next time you do get it, Christy, because you do keep coming back, the next time you do get it and you get how about you get a 100% week and come back and tell us about it next week? What do you say?
Yeah, I'm going to. That was the plan this last week, but unfortunately the devil won.
Well, we're going to be waiting. Are we going to be waiting for Christy next week?
Absolutely.
High five,
So,
Christy.
Christy,
High five, Christy.
I'm sure you've heard me say this, but whenever, I'm telling you, I've been doing this for like a year and a half between, being on the plan and then being in maintenance mode, right? So still always on the plan, right? I've been doing it for a long time. And I still sometimes get those feelings, and it's right here. I always say it's right here. I get that feeling right here. Like, I'm not hungry because you don't get hunger pains in your jaw, but this is where it comes to me.
in your brain. I get it right here.
In your
I'm
brain.
like, oh, I really want that.
Have tea. Chamomile tea at night. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about it, but then it makes me forget about it. So that's what I say.
Like the chemical imbalance in our bodies, and then, with the herbal.
It's calming, and it's there's no caffeine in it, and it's just kind of, but, if you drink 15 chamomile teas, well, then you'll drink 15 chamomile teas, but eventually I'll
be more focused on the bathroom instead of food.
Yes. Make sure you're getting enough water, too. When you get that feeling, if you can't drink
some water,
right here, I'll slug like 3/4 of this.
Yeah, I do notice that sometimes I am not drinking enough, and I'll be like, oh, I gotta drink some more water. And I do have the cups too. I have these all around. I have one. I'm really weird. I'll drink warm water. I set them in my room, and I'll drink it like 2 days later. My husband's like, I don't know how you do that. I'm like, well, it's there. Like, oh, but
that's what I would suggest there, Christy, is just.
So next week, I hope to be able to tell you guys all.
We want to hear about it.
Right.
We want to hear about you 100%. And reach out to you if you're texting your food police, and just, that's what you got to do. Just reach out,
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, Christy.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Surrey? I don't have my glasses on.
Hello, it's Surrey.
Hi, Sue.
Surrey,
Hi,
how are you?
Surrey.
First, I wanted to say thank you so much, Nicole. Your sweet voice and your honesty really, really touched my heart. I was crying as well. And you're one of the reasons why I come back, Nicole, because as I said before in a couple videos, that I just see you shrinking and shrinking, and I don't see your whole body, but your shoulders are getting closer together, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like this has to be working because Nicole looks so good. I mean, I just want to thank you so much for being the inspiration, and thank you, Lulu, for setting up this chat for us and this meeting. And I can finally say, guess what, guys? I'm on the bus with you.
Yay!
Yeah. I'm on that bus, man, and I'm sitting right in the middle seat so I can get all the information from the front and the back. I'm just so on fire for Lulu's meal plan, you know? And sometimes I yell at you, Lulu, when I want to just throw that extra ounce in, and I'm like, Lulu would say no, and I'm like, damn, Lulu, you know, and I'll throw it back in the Tupperware, but this is so funny.
Atta girl.
Thanks. And I've given away 10 bags of food that I was just hoarding, like cornbread mixes and rice pilaf and stuff like that. Anything to do with flour and sugar, I have given it away.
Nice.
And now I can see them on the cabinets. It's like, wow, this is just unbelievable.
Oh.
So I've been giving myself these little mantras, like treats are for cats and dogs. Are you a cat? Are you a dog? No, you're not. Treats are not for you. Yeah. You're a human who's getting healthy. So for me now and for the rest of my life, I choose food as medicine. I mean, I've only been doing this for 3 weeks and I had one slip up, but when people see me, they say, oh my goodness, you're glowing. You know, it's the vegetables.
Yeah.
So I'm on insulin. I talked about that before, and I've been taking so much less insulin. And that day that I had that slip up with 2 tiny little candies that were the size of a quarter, those weren't even my choice of candy. I found them in a basket, and I just, you know, the devil took over and I ate the candies. But that whole next day, I couldn't move. So that was 2 weeks ago. So last night I tell myself, well, you've done so good. Just try the Barilla gluten-free pasta. By the time I ate the pasta and cleaned up the kitchen, my legs felt like cinder blocks. They were so heavy. My hips hurt. Everything about that pasta was like, it was a no. It automatically told me it's a no. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, if I include it in with my food, then it's not a treat. You know, so I've been putting my handful of potato chips as my carb in the beginning. And sometimes, like maybe last week I did that. But I'm just so grateful for this channel, and I'm home now and I'm on the meeting now because I don't feel good because of that pasta. And normally, like, I'm out and doing things and exercising, and where before I was just sitting on my bed for days, like just lining up the food. Well, if you have this at 12 o'clock and then start cooking that at 2:30 so you can have it at 3:30. I wasn't even giving myself 4 hours in between food. My blood sugar's cranking up. I'm pumping in insulin. And it's just so crazy. Another thing that inspired myself to do this is I've been on pain medicines for 27 years, and the doctor had me on fentanyl. And I told him, it's all over the news a couple of years ago. I told him, and I just want to come off of this. Well, the pain clinic fired me. And then I was tired of going for appointment after appointment just to get my pain medicine. I mean, they're the ones that put me on it. So I'm proud to say I have 20 months with no pain medicine. And if I stay away from the flour and the sugar, the pain is gone.
Wow.
Like the most I need is a Tylenol or a Motrin here and there. So the food causes pain.
Yeah. Oh,
If
wow.
not,
The power of food, huh? Wow.
Yeah. And if I'm not choosing the right food to ingest, I'm paying for it the next day, having to cancel fun things that I have planned because I really can't move. So I am really allergic to both of those. And I am just so happy that I'm on the bus with you girls, and I'm going to really try to make it a priority to set aside the time to come into the meeting every week.
Oh, good.
And I just appreciate everybody so much. And thank you, Lulu and Nicole and Bob and all of you who have this going for us.
Yeah.
And I'm just so stoked I'm on the bus, guys.
Yay, Sue Ray.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice.
Good. I'm glad you're with us.
Welcome to the bus.
I was going
I'm
to
so
wait.
happy.
Thank you. I was going to wait till I had 30 days, but when you guys were talking about just speak so you can speak for yourself. So here I am, and thank you for letting me talk.
Yeah. Thanks, Sue Ray.
Yeah. Yeah, Sheree, you're preaching there with the food is medicine, and it can also be detrimental. And the things that you remove that through this plan are all inflammatory foods, and that's why you're feeling better, because you don't have those inflammatory foods in you anymore. So, yay for you. Pretty soon you'll be driving that bus, right? Thank you. All right. Well, we got Carol, and then we are going to dance. So, what's up, big sis?
That was not appropriate, but whatever.
Yeah.
I just glanced over. I'm just saying, real quick, I just glanced over, and I've had this saying on my desk forever, and it just, I don't even see it anymore because it's been there for so long. But for Nicole and for Christy and for Pam and for everybody here, I just have to read this. It's a quote from Edmund Lee. I don't know who he is, but it says, surround yourself with the dreamers and the doers, the believers and the thinkers, but most of all, surround yourself with those who see the greatness within you, even when you don't see it in yourself. And that is what I think Lulu and Barb inspire in all of us, and that's why we're all here, to see the greatness in each other, and I just had to share that. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Carol.
And thank you.
Oh, that's really good, Carol.
That was good.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, I'm inspired every week, and it helps me stay on the track too, because we could all fall off. You know, we're just one ice cream away, right, Lulu?
That's right.
And
all
then
it takes is
we're
one.
being dragged by the bus, and we can't get back on. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get off the bus.
This is as much, for everybody else for me as it is for everybody else. So.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.